too. So we're on the chapter 6, and then we'll have one more chapter. The only thing is, and I will email everybody, but instead of it being next week, it will be the following week. So we'll actually wrap, we're on vacation next week. So, and I'm not 100% sure how great the service will be. So we will wrap, unless Heather, you're telling me otherwise, but we will wrap the last chapter on Tuesday, the 11th, March 11th. And I'll make sure I email everybody so that you guys have that date. And then that'll be it. And gosh, I kind of want to start another book, but I'm not sure which one. So today, yes, okay, Heather, thank you. Heather's going to update the calendar invite for you guys too. So last one will be on March 11th. And I'm actually still trying to see if we can get Dr. Dave Martin to hop on with us on the last one. If he's in town, he said that he would. So now that I've switched the date, I'll have to double check with him just to be sure. But today we are going to be on chapter 6, and this was actually kind of a quick one. Let me go back to my handy dandy notes. It starts on page 117, and this one was about gift giving. And it says, by giving a gift, you can increase favor in your life. And I think this one gets kind of like technical with things, but I love how he talks about gift giving has always been a part of initiating and building important relationships. Um, Curious, is gifts anyone's love language on here, or gift giving and or gift receiving? Eileen, okay, a couple of you. Beth,
Well, I love to give gifts. I don't love getting them, but I remember a long time ago, Linda McKissick said, well, that means your love language is gifts. So I don't know
yeah.
how that works.
I'm right there with you. Like I would rather give than receive. But I love a thoughtful gift so much. Like I
Mm.
love to receive a thoughtful gift for sure. Yeah, Stephanie said both. Yeah, Shane and Doe love to gift. Yeah. Yeah, so gifting is huge. And if you've ever received a really great gift or a really meaningful or special gift, I guess would be the best, a thoughtful gift, then you know the importance of gift giving. I liked on 118, Proverbs 18:6. A gift opens the way for the giver and ushers him into the presence of the great. So, I mean, biblically, oh, Shenandoah said hard to receive. Yeah, totally agree. I'm not a great gift receiver, but working on that for sure. Biblically, he talks about gifts are great tokens for demonstrating one's respect. They also are great for breaking the ice with people you want to know or need to know, but above all, a gift can be extremely helpful in procuring favor for the one who gives it. Perhaps this is what Solomon meant when he wrote Proverbs 18:16. Um, and then he gives a little bit of a story from when he was growing up in Mississippi on page 118. But then he says, hold on one second. Sorry, I'm having to zoom in on my pictures. Possible exception. No, it's not that. Okay, no, it was on 120. Um, when he says at the top of 120, in fact, the right gift given in the right way at the right time can open doors for you that you never thought could be opened. Your gift can even usher you into the presence of the great and the powerful. It can change your life. He says, perhaps you never thought about this, but throughout the Bible, God required people to enter his presence bearing gifts. And I was like, okay, here we go. There's where he talks about it in the Bible, which I think is so good. And really that's true. In fact, he wanted them never to enter his presence empty-handed. Whenever the Jews came to the temple to worship God, therefore they would bring their sacrifices and offerings with them. When the high priest entered the Holy of Holies each year on the day of atonement, he would bear various bowls filled with incense or blood, and he would make several sacrifices before entering God's presence. Writing about the God of heaven, David said that we should enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Psalm 104. In other words, even in this modern era when the blood of bulls and rams is no longer required and no longer appropriate, God still doesn't want us entering his presence empty handed. He at least wants us to come into his presence with words of praise and gratitude. This 100% reminds me so much of John Maxwell. For those of you that have met John or know John or have read his books, John has taught like me immensely around gift giving. And he never goes to see somebody that he doesn't have a gift for them. Like a great gift too. I mean, crazy gifts. And he's really gotten me to think it doesn't have to be something that, I mean, I'm sure some of the time it is, but it doesn't have to be something that's like outrageously expensive. It's just the thoughtfulness that he puts into it. Like they're so thoughtful. And even if like at other times before, he's shown up with a donation to that person's charity or something that he knows that they collect, like he actually really researches and comes up with the best gifts, or he'll remember things that people like, and then he does that. But he's actually really probably taught me the most in regards to gift giving. And you do, I don't want to say, I don't like relating that to giving a gift and then you buy favor. Like that's obviously not what he means, and that's not what the Bible talks about it. But what he means is you buy favor, you earn favor from those people, because when you do it with the right intentions and when you do it coming from the heart, then you know that those people are going to have favor on you. Oh, thank you, Mary Murphy. I love to give a gift. It's like my favorite thing ever. Um, but you know that then those people know that it's coming from your heart and that they can trust you more. Um, I was just thinking too, I love a good silent auction, and we just got back from the KW convention and they emailed me yesterday. I won like 7 things. Heather, I have no clue how that happened, by the way, because I wasn't winning on a couple of them when we left, and then they emailed, and some of them that were on there, I'm like, I didn't even bid on those. So I had to email her back last night and say, those aren't mine. Only these certain ones are mine. But I knew there were a couple ones, like there was a really good, golf one from Augusta that had some golfer's signature on it and something else. But I thought, oh my gosh, my brother will love that. So I'll just save it for his birthday. But like really thinking about things that, are rare, like one of a kind gifts are even 1,000 times better. On page 123 in the middle, he says, whenever Christine and I travel to a church to minister there, that's his wife, it is not uncommon for us to take a gift with us for the senior pastor of the church. I want to make it clear, however, that we do not take the gift in order to manipulate the pastor. After all, we have already been invited to preach in his church, so it's not like we're trying to influence him in any way. Rather, we bring our gifts with us in order to honor the man of God and show our respect for his office and his valuable work. We also bring the gift to help us say thank you for the opportunity to minister to the people God has entrusted to his spiritual care. We want the pastor to know that we esteem his position very highly, and we appreciate the battles he wages on the front lines of Christian service. While his ministry is much more than the trenches, our type of ministry often brings more accolades. And I think that's so true, right? It's like you might bring a gift just for respect or to let them know how much you care about them. Down below, he said, for this reason, never give gifts in order to get an immediate return on investment. I thought that was so good. Give gifts in order to honor those who are trustworthy of your gifts, people whose position demands your respect, or people whose character or acts of service have inspired you. If you give gifts in order to honor the honorable or in order to thank the worthy, then you give them for the right reason. And I just think that basically says it all. He goes on the next couple of pages to just talk about, I think he tells us a couple of stories of the king, which we won't read because it goes kind of far on 124, 125. And then on the last page, yeah, I thought this was really good. If you give gifts for the wrong reason, your efforts will always backfire on you. If you give gifts for the proper reason, and with the right intentions, people will honor you for it. God will honor you too. It says, blessing God and blessing other people by giving them gifts with a pure heart and pure motivations is a proven and reliable way to gain the attention of the Lord and earn the trust of those you love and admire. Learn to give more than you receive, and learn to give in ways that will cause people to acknowledge your character. And I just think that that's so good. Curious in the chat, did any of you, will you type if you feel like you're pretty good at this or you need to get better at this? Just curious, like how we have a gauge on it. And then I'm going to go through a couple of the questions from the workbook. Yeah, Shannon Doe, it doesn't surprise me. Stephanie, I would say that you're great. Stephanie, for Pete's sake, you just gave your niece a car, I think. She she said sometimes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, always room for improvement. Definitely. I think, yeah, we all have to do that, need to get better.
Sometimes it's easy to choose the gift though, right? I mean,
To do what?
choose it. Like I knew that was Like my niece is, that's the perfect gift for her. But if I'm going to visit someone, sometimes that's harder, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's
Yeah.
circumstantial.
Yeah, totally, totally. Yeah, I see
And
that.
some people, it's hard to buy really thoughtful gifts for that aren't expensive because they have everything in the world. So I think in
Yeah.
those situations, like it's harder.
Yeah, I totally agree. Can I tell you that one of the funniest gifts though, and she's on here, but Joanne, my next door neighbor, one of my favorite gifts that she gives me every year, she's gonna laugh so hard when I say this because it's not expensive and I love it so much. She knows are these Christmas Rice Krispie wreaths that she makes that are green that have a red cinnamon thing on them. And this year she made me a whole plate of them. And I told Adam, I was like, this is top 3, like one of my favorite things I got for Christmas this year.
Those the green ones with all that dye on it?
Yes.
Oh, they're dangerous the next day, but I love those too.
They're so dangerous. And I don't even eat dye. And I love those. Like I like get them all up. But you know what, Stephanie, the thing that made me think of that when you said like sometimes it has to be really expensive, it is hard to find things that like, you know, someone may love or like really enjoy that you almost have to, I don't know, you almost have to ask people around them or figure out ways. But okay, so yes, we can all get a little bit better. Okay, so in the workbook, I'm just gonna give you a couple things really quickly and a couple of questions. Um, he says, the right gift given in the right way at the right time can open doors for you that you never thought could be open. Oh, Beth, that's fun. Pillow presents for each other. Have done that. Wait, what do you mean by pillow present?
What we do when we go on a girls' trip. In fact, we're getting ready. We'll go on one in June. We all buy, and it doesn't have to be expensive, just fun little pillow presents. So then you go back, and when people aren't around in their bedrooms, you just put the little present there and they open it and have to
Oh,
figure out who it was
cute.
from. I mean, we've done it for like over 30 years. And so now we all have grandkids. And so we do it for the grandkids. Like when the grandkids come down to our condo in Florida, or I have visitors, even if it's just like a little body lotion or
Yeah.
chapstick or something fun. It's like, oh, we leave them pillow presents
I love that. Linda
on
does
the
that. Linda McKissick does that. You know, when you go to her house, she always has something on the
yeah, yeah, it's
pillow
kind of like
cord.
that.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. That is so fun. I love that. Heather's on here. She's like, Dana, please don't start this on our girls' trip. I know she's thinking that.
Well, yeah, when you travel, you don't want too big of items. Sometimes when we're down there, if we're out shopping, if somebody hasn't bought their pillow present ahead of time,
Yeah.
they'll
They'll
go,
get
when
stuff.
we go shopping, they sneak off and buy something. So
I love that. It's so good. Oh my gosh. I love it. Okay. Here, a couple of the questions just to think about, and if you guys want to write these down. The first one he has is, can you recall a news story that reported the giving or receiving of a gift by a head of state? What was the gift? What was the occasion? What do you think? Why do you think this gift was important? I couldn't think of one. Maybe you guys can. I don't know. I don't watch the news really though, so that could also be why. The second one was, have you ever received a gift that had a profoundly positive impact on your life? What was the gift? What was the occasion? How did this gift affect your relationship with the person who gave it to you? Curious if anybody has on that one ever received a gift that has had a profoundly positive impact on your life. Two of my favorite gifts on the planet are from Heather, and you guys won't be able to see them, but they're these gold bangle bracelets, the two on the bottom, and they have one has my dad's handwriting on it, and the other one has my papaw's handwriting on it. And they both came from cards, and Heather gave me both of those after they passed. And they're like, I literally never take them off. They're like my favorite thing ever. And yeah, so I just was thinking, some of you know the Mo Anderson. Oh man, I wish I had the picture. I could show you that guitar. Have I ever told that story on here? The guitar story? Maybe not. Oh my gosh, hold on, let me look really fast, see if I can find it. Um, I had a really great gift that was given to me, super impactful. It was actually a funny one. Oh man, hold on, let me see if I can find the picture really fast. I think I have it on here. Ah, is Ruth on today? She has the no, I don't see her. Um, oh, here it is. Okay, let me see. I might be able to show you guys this really fast. I'm actually gonna share this at a talk this week that I go to. It's part of my keynote, but I was in, can you see that? Can y'all see the screen? Okay. I was in Nashville year before last. Was it last year or year before last? At an event that Diana Kokoska, some of you may know Diana. She used to work with MAPS, our coaching company, and she wrote a book. I have it on my shelf somewhere. Can't think of totally blanking on the name of it. But anyway, we went to her event and
Made for more. Made for
yes,
more.
Made for More. Thank you, Steph. Yeah, she wrote a book, Made for More. We went to her event in Nashville, and I knew before going to the event that she was gonna have an auction, a live auction item of a signed Dolly Parton guitar. And some of y'all may know I have a massive obsession with Dolly Parton, and so I just knew I was going to get that guitar. And like Adam and I had talked about it. I knew how much I was going to spend. Like I was like, there's no way that it'll go for that. We've been on guitars before. They're usually like $3,000 or $4,000. So I knew I was going to get it. And I got there that day, and this is my friend Ruth. She gets on these calls sometimes, but she had given me these beautiful earrings that had real diamonds in them. I had told her like 2 years ago at an event when I saw her that I loved her earrings. And I was like, will you please send me the like link for those? I'm obsessed with them. They're gorgeous. I love them so much. I love jewelry. And she said that they were discontinued. And like, I looked for them. I think Heather looked for them. Caitlin, my sister-in-law, looked for them. And Ruth was like, they just don't make them anymore. So I get to this event in Nashville, and she hands me this Kendra Scott box, and I open it, and they're not Kendra Scott. They're like the actual real diamond earrings. And she's like, I just had on my heart that I wanted to give these to you. And I'm like, what? No, like it actually, she told me in that moment I was a horrible gift receiver, by the way. So I was like, I'll pay you for them. Like, I'm not taking these. And she was like, no, I really want you to have them. You've like made such an impact on my life. And if you can tell, this was the day of the auction, and I actually have on a t-shirt that says Dolly for President, because I came like theme ready to get the Dolly guitar. So I was already on cloud nine because Ruth had given me these earrings. So later that afternoon, they start the auction, and they auction off all this stuff. John Maxwell was there. He was actually auctioning off some of his personal collection of like things that he collects. It was for a fundraiser for one of John's charities. And they bring out the Dolly guitar, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's mine. Like I just knew it. I was so excited. I was pumped to get it. They start the auction, and I think they started at like $2,500. And before you guys don't judge. And it was for charity. So in full, I was gonna spend $10,000. Like that was my max. I was like, okay, I know it's never gonna go for 10 grand, but Adam and I had already pre-decided that like that was my max. Like that was what I was gonna do. Before I could even open my mouth, the auction started, and it was like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. And I'm like, what? Like I couldn't even speak. It was going so fast. And then I look at Adam, and I'm like, 11,000. And Adam's like, oh gosh, here she goes. And so then before it was like, then somebody else said 12,000. And then I'm like 13,000. And then somebody said 15,000. And I was like, oh my gosh, no, I'm out. Like, I'm just not gonna do it. I don't like, there will come another time. There'll be another opportunity. So I'm sitting there like sulking in my sadness, so sad. People are still going 18,000, 19,000. And then I hear a familiar voice from across the room say $25,000. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was a lady by the name of Mo Anderson. And Mo was the president of Keller Williams for many years. She's in her 80s now. She's like the icon of culture inside of Keller Williams. I know some of you aren't with KW. And she's just such an amazing person. She's like the mom of KW. And I'm like, you have got, and I love Mo, but in that moment, I was like, I want to fight her. And she's like, and she's Mo Anderson, so I can't. I was so crushed. I was like, oh my gosh. And Mo knew I wanted it. And so I'm like, why would she bid against me to know that, like, I know she has way more money than we do. I like couldn't believe it. I was so mad. So then Diana, this is Diana. So she has the guitar, and she's like, Mo, sold to Mo Anderson for $25,000. And I'm like trying to clap, like, congratulations. I'm like so mad. And so Mo gets up on the stage, and she's like walking up there, and she grabs the guitar, and she's like holding it. And there's John Maxwell. and grabs the microphone and she's like, Dana, honey, will you come up on stage? And I'm like, what? And I'm like looking around and people are like starting to bawl, cry. And I like black out at this point. I'm like, I don't even know what's happening. And I come up on stage and she's like, I just want to do this for you because I know that one day you'll do this for somebody else. And she hands me the guitar and I'm like in absolute shock. I'm like, there's no way. And she's like, it's yours, honey. You deserve it. And I just wanted you to have it. And then she says what Mo says, and I have more money than you have. So I knew I could do this for you. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So, it is, I think, the most expensive thing in our house is the Dolly Parton signed guitar hanging upstairs. But it's cool. They had like the photos of when Dolly actually signed the guitar and stuff. It's actually pretty old. And I don't know if you guys probably don't know this because you probably don't research Dolly Parton, but it's very rare that like to find authentic stuff that she has signed anymore. She doesn't really sign a lot, especially guitars. It's like super, super rare. But this gift from Mo, I mean, I'll remember it for the absolute rest of my life. Like it was, and I told so many people that day, Mo showed the best example of servant leadership and gift giving. And I just got to be like, was blessed blessed enough to be the recipient of it, which was so cool. But it was like, it just was the best story. It was so good. What'd Stephanie say? I need to know where that thing is in the will. Oh my gosh, hilarious. Shenandoah said crying in Walmart. Yeah, it was crazy. So they really can. Oh, that's sweet. Hold on, I'm reading Lisa. Beautiful. Mary Murphy brought me a beautiful flower basket on the way. Her own out of town wedding. Oh my gosh, I still use it. Oh, I love that. So sweet. Does not surprise me. She is a great gift giver too. I love it. Leave a nativity at our front porch that he handmade. Oh my gosh. And didn't leave a card, so we didn't know for 2 years. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's even harder because you don't know who to thank. Oh my gosh. That's incredible. I love these though, because it just shows you the impact that a really great and special gift, and for years, like the memory that you will have of that for years, which is so great. So a couple of more questions just to think about. Has a gift ever opened a door for you in any noticeable way, and how? Mine definitely has. I was invited to Gary Keller's ranch a couple years ago. There was like 80 of us. I was the only person that showed up with a gift for Gary. And really that started kind of the relationship, the friendship that I had with him. He was like, so it was nothing either. It was like it was a thing of fly fishing coasters, because I know they like to fly fish there, and a framed picture that I had taken one time on his farm in West Virginia, and he just loved it. Like he sent me a handwritten note. Actually, I think I even have his handwritten note right here because I save all these cards back here. Yeah, Dana, thanks for your kind photo. Truly appreciate you and excited for our journey together, Gary. Like, I mean, so even little things really can change and open doors for you. The next one is using your imagination. How do you think Joseph and Mary responded to the gifts that they were given by the wise men? What do you think the visit of the wise men said to Joseph and Mary about Jesus and about the wise men, right? Because I mean, they definitely didn't show up empty-handed, which is such a great way to just see back all throughout the history and the story of the Bible, how gifts came into play. Oh, this is a good one. Most people can discern the motives of a person bearing gifts. Can you recall an instance when someone gave you a gift with an impure motivation? What happened and how did it make you feel? That's a really good one. This next one, according to Dave Martin, a gift represents the sacrifice of a person's time, and it represents inconvenience, sacrifice, and trouble on part of the one who gave the gift. When you receive a gift, what touches your heart most about the giver's intentions toward you? So just thinking about really, how did you feel? And then the last one, oh, this is actually a good one. Would love to know the answer to this. I've already shared some of mine with you guys, my bracelets, the guitar. I have a really special necklace from Adam that I love so much. What's the best gift you've ever received from another person, and why was the gift so special to you? And actually just really thinking about what made it special is a good one to reflect on. Yeah, that's a good one. Really good one. Anybody have a gift, thought of a gift that's the most special one to them? Just trying to read through these really quick. Demonstrate respect. Okay, yep, we already did those. Okay. Lastly, he talks about great worth. If you guys want to go look up and read later, Matthew 2, 1 through 2. And he talks about your worth through gift giving and more about the wise men there. And then the journal prompt for this one, which if we all can get better at gift giving would be good, to take a few moments to record your thoughts regarding this week's session on gift giving. What new things have you learned? What new insights have you had? What life-changing truths? Oh, Joanne.
Oh, I was going to say,
Yeah.
my son is a pilot, and this friend of mine, he gave me this. It's a Yardra, which is a figurine of the pilot, and it always was very special to me. It still is. I
Wow.
keep it in my kitchen on my bookshelves.
Wonder where he found that.
Well, you can buy them from. They come from
Oh,
Spain.
okay.
I was just very. I don't know, but he knew I was so proud of my son, so he bought that for me unexpectedly.
Oh my God, that's a great gift.
That was good.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I
I
love
always
that.
think of him when I see that pilot.
Yeah, I love that. Well, and that actually reminds me, I'm glad you said that, Joanne, because one thing that John Maxwell says, which this is not like, this is actually the opposite of what Dave says, but you know, John, he's so funny. He says, anytime I give somebody a great gift, I always say, now, when you see that, pray for me. Think of me and pray for me. And I'm like, that is true, though. I gave Linda McKissick a really nice pair of shoes for Christmas. I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, probably. And because I know she likes nice things, but I always try to find like something that is thoughtful. You know, she says like I keep her looking young. And so anyway, but she always says every time I put these shoes on, I pray for you. I'm like, okay, keep doing that. Thank you. Eileen said, my first Christmas after divorce and the kids were gone, a friend gave me a gift bag and said, this gift is for you to open this morning. It was a Haitian metal piece with the Psalm 46. I love that. Oh my gosh, that sounds so nice. So nice. Yeah, see, there are such special things that like you just don't ever forget, right? You keep them forever. And then the last question is, can you think of a way that you can get better at gift giving and how you can relate it to favor in your life and how you can truly impact others in a big way through being able to give gifts? So just want to challenge you guys to think about that as you go about the week this week, and definitely something we can all get better at. One thing I will say though, this is kind of like a cheat code, I guess, if you will. Hold on, let me put this in my phone before I forget. But kind of a cheat code, but I keep like a little section in my notes on my phone of ideas or thoughts for people. So like if someone mentions something that they really like or something that they collect or I don't know, just like something that they're really wanting, or I don't know, like I just keep an ongoing gift idea note in my phone, like on the notes app. And then I go back sometimes, like if I'm trying to think of something or if I know I'm going to see something, or like when people, a lot of times when I hear people speak, they'll say, and you know, my favorite Bible verse is da 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 da, or my favorite quote is blah blah blah. And I always put those in the notes app on my phone because there's so many, we have it so easy now. You can go on Etsy and find like the cutest, you know, most creative ways to have a Bible verse printed or a quote printed or something like that. But if you are trying to get better and you want to be more intentional about it, that might be a little cheap tip that you can take and use, because there's no way we can, or at least me, there's no way I could remember all of that stuff about people. So I have to just keep it written down. And then when the time comes, you can give them a really thoughtful gift. Okay, guys, thanks for being on. I had Adam send me a picture of the closing prayer, so I'll close this out with this, and then we'll go about our week, and I'll actually go put my makeup on for the day. Okay. Lord, we want to be givers. You are a giver to us, and we want to be like you. So I want you to help us be better givers. We want to stop thinking about ourselves, and we want to start thinking of others more. We want to bless others. We want to elevate others. We want to make others feel important. We want to make them feel appreciated. Give us new hearts and hearts that study the needs of others so intently that we will be able to know what they need before they know. Give us a heart that cares about them so sincerely that we will be willing to sacrifice some of our own pleasures and treasures in order to just bless the others with appropriate gifts. As we give to others, Lord, please bless us in return. Please bless all the people on today. Bless us from heaven. Bless us through the hands of men and women. Help us not seek a blessing every time we give a gift. Instead, help us to give without expecting anything in return. Let us expect to respond, that you will respond to us in ways that we will truly see it, that are enriching to our lives. Give us favor, Lord. Give us favor with everyone that we come in contact with, but most of all, give us favor with you. Teach us to have pure motives so that we'll be able to give to everyone around us. In Jesus' name, amen. Thanks, guys. See you not next week, but the next week. Heather and I will be in St. John next week, so we'll send you good, warm, sunny vibes from the islands. Sorry, Jamie, to rub it in your face. Jamie loves St. John. She's like, dang it.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. See you guys. Have
You
a great
all
week.
enjoy.
Thank you.